News, Matt, and the building. What's good, y'all? I hope you're having a blessed day. Man, oh man, we gotta talk about multiple things in today's video, from Bronny James having yet again another questionable performance, and we got Dior Johnson and Bryce Griggs going at it head to head, and some people think there was beef involved, but I don't think so. But we're gonna talk about it. So if you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Join the family, hit the subscribe button, and leave a like for more. And without further ado, let's get into the news. Anytime we talk about news, we normally always start with Bronny, but let's switch it up and talk about Dior Johnson and Bryce Griggs. Most of you know Dior Johnson. I don't have to talk about him too much, but there's a lot of people that don't know Bryce Griggs. Bryce sort of gets lost in the shadow behind all these other great players in high school basketball, and it shouldn't be that way. He's underrated, I feel like, but if you know him or watched him play, you know he's good. He doesn't get a lot of the big time exposure because he doesn't do too many things to draw attention. He's to himself and he gets buckets, and that's all there is to it. But anyways, moving on with this video, the EYBL Peach Jam is currently going on, and yesterday, Dior Johnson and Bryce faced off. I wish more people were talking about it and it got more exposure because it was a great matchup. They were going bucket for bucket. There was some trash talk involved, and some people were sending it to me saying that they were beefing with one another, but that was not the case. They're great friends. There was some video clips, and if I can find them, I'll try to throw them up on the screen, where Bryce was talking some smack after he scored. You can't even tell if he's talking directly towards Dior, but I think he's just hyping himself up, and that's basketball talk. Even though both players played really good and they were going back and forth, Bryce did have the upper hand in the matchup. Dior wound up finishing with 20 points, a solid performance. He played good on both sides of the ball, and Bryce Griggs, he had an all-around great game. He had 29 points. I don't have to talk about it too much, but if you saw the highlights, you can tell that these guys, they showed why they're regarded as high as they are. As far as the quote-unquote beef they had, there is no beef. Let me make that clear. I don't know where people got that from, and I don't even know why they're saying it. They literally took a picture together after the game with each other. And then to top that off, Bryce was commenting under some posts about Dior and hyping him up, so there's no beef. Stop trying to say that. If you don't know Bryce Griggs by now, you better start paying attention, because I think he's going to be one of the biggest names, not in high school, but maybe college basketball, and he has a good shot to get to the NBA. I may make a video later tonight if there's any more games or news or big things to talk about, but early, and I mean really early this morning, Dior Johnson's team played again and he went off. Listen to this stat line. He had 26 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals. I don't want to say he's the best player at the Peach Jam right now, but he's easily got to be one of the top 3 or 5. I will say this, he easily has the best mid-range pull-up game out of any high schooler I've seen in a while. When you talk about a bucket getter and a pure scorer, Dior Johnson, he's the definition. He's a guy that can score from anywhere on the court. And you gotta realize too, he's putting up 25 pieces like it's nothing against the best of the best competition. I don't see anybody anywhere talking about how good Dior's playing, and that's disrespectful, so I had to talk about it today because it's just giving credit where credit is due. Actually, let me backtrack on that, because I did see a tweet where LeBron was talking about how good he was playing. Speaking of LeBron, that leads us into our next storyline perfectly. His son, Bronny James. I'm thinking about it, I really am. We might as well change the name to the channel to Bronny Be Great, because that's all we've been talking about. But there's so many things to talk about with him. He's easily one of the most controversial players in high school basketball. One game, he'll look good, and the next game, he'll look like, how do I say this? Not so good. You know how it goes. I don't have to say too much, but let's talk about his most recent performance. Also, as I'm speaking right now, he's currently playing in another game, and by the time this is uploaded, that game will probably be finished. So I'm not talking about the game today, which is Saturday. I'm talking about his game Friday. I would love to throw up some highlights on the screen right now for you to see how he played, but there is no highlights, and that's why you haven't seen a Ball is Life video or a Slam High School video or anything about Strive for Greatness. They don't have a title for it. They can't title it Bronny went off or Bronny did this or Bronny did that, because he literally did nothing. Okay, he did some things on the defensive side, and he's a good defensive player, and he had a couple assists, but on the stat sheet, he really didn't do anything else. His team, Strive for Greatness, wound up losing their game 71-60. And one key piece to note is that the team they lost to was 0-2 going into that game. When I say I couldn't find a single thing, I mean I couldn't find a single thing. I couldn't see highlights or anything from this game because nobody was talking about it. And the only thing I can assume is that it's because Bronny played bad. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not. Bronny finished the game going 0 for 6 and had 0 points. I don't know what to say, and I don't know what you guys even expect me to say because I'm speechless. I literally, and I mean literally, made a video a day or two ago apologizing, saying that he's gonna come in his groove and I was being a little too harsh on him. He just had a game where he had 12 points and 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, and he's gonna get it going. But now he does this. At first I was joking about it. I used to say that Bronny was trolling us because he'll have one good game, get our hopes up, and then he'll have a terrible game, and then he'll go out there and have a good game. It's like he's playing with our emotions. And at first, that was originally me joking, but I'm starting to think it's not a joke and he's just straight up trolling. I don't know. When's the last time he's had back-to-back good performances? I don't even know. I get it. We all have rough nights out there, whether it's baseball, football, basketball, or whatever sport you play. You're not going to play your best. But 0 points? Come on, man. Only 2 to 3 days ago, he had a game with 2 points, and I was being harsh on him, and I was saying it's unacceptable, not for him, but anybody. But 0 points, there's no excuse. For my guys watching this, I know we got some girl viewers, and maybe this does apply to you, but I think it's mainly guys. If you've ever had a bad baseball or basketball game and you have to ride home with your dad, you know that is the worst ride home ever. He's going to just critique you, and say some harsh things, and it's going to be like that until you get home. And I'm not even talking for a 4 or 5 star recruit. I'm talking about average high school players and high school athletes. If you score 0 points, could you imagine that car ride home? The crazy part about this situation is that we're not talking about average Joes. We're talking about Bronny. This is supposed to be the young King James and the next big thing. I don't want to be too critical of his 0 point performance. Maybe it was just an overall really bad day, but you gotta hold him accountable. I know every hooper out there wouldn't be okay with scoring only 0 points, so I'm not gonna be too harsh on him because he probably had a bad enough day itself. I'll just leave it up to you guys. Let me know in the comments section about his 0 for 6 and 0 point performance. There's one bright side about basketball. If you do have a bad game, you're probably going to play within a day or two, so you can forget it and move on to the next one. So hopefully he does that. And I guarantee you guys he'll go out there in this next game and score 14 points because that's how he plays. He'll have a bad one and then a good one. I want to see him do good. I really do, and I'm rooting for him. But it's hard to tell myself I think he's going to be great after he does things like this. But maybe he just needs some time. I will try to remain optimistic, but if he has 1 to 2 more 2-point games and 0 point games, I don't know, man. We may be making a pretty critical video about him. I don't even want to say it's critical. I just tell it how it is. So whether you like it or not, that's up to you. But with all that being said, that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Why are you not subscribed? That's a bad look. Might as well hit that subscribe button. Leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.